Yo, what up, everybody? It's been a while that I've done a YouTube video or a review. It's been kind of a slow month. I have also started a TikTok. If you guys want to find me on TikTok, I am there. I am also doing short reviews there, just shorter videos on movies and shows, doing The Last of Us right now. But today, I want to talk about the Banshees of Inisherin. I think that's how you say it. I've been hearing a lot of buzz about this since the late last year. Obviously, it's getting a lot of awards right now, a lot of noms. And, you know, I'm trying to make an effort to watch a lot of these movies that are in the award circuit right now, that are kind of making their waves through. Because there's a lot of movies that are being nominated, and some of them I haven't seen. Some of them I have, and some of them I haven't. And I'm just eager to see, in a sense, why do they deserve these awards? Why do these actors deserve it? This and that. So, yeah, here's the Banshees of Inisherin. Inisherin, I think is how you say it. It's directed by Martin McDonagh. It stars Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, as well as Barry Keoghan is in there, and Carrie Condon, I think is how you say her name. Pretty much, it's watching this reminded me of like listening to some folktale or some kind of story from, I don't know, an old legend or something like that, from the old times of an old, in the old country times, whatever. You hear this story that just seems so silly, but behind the silliness, behind the story, behind, what you see and what you hear, what's going on, there's a deep message behind it. And I almost imagine, like an older man telling me this story, and at the end of the story, he's telling me what the message of the story is and kind of what the lesson in it is. And that's what I felt watching. Is I feel like this is kind of like a ridiculous story. A lot of things that happen in here, you're just kind of like, hey, why would what the heck? Like, what's going on here? But it makes for a beautiful movie and a beautiful story to tell. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I liked it a lot. This was it is a slow burn. It does take its time in the beginning, but I mean, in a sense, right off the bat, you get what the premise of the story is. Brendan Gleeson plays a man named Colin, who out of nowhere just decides to stop talking to his friend Podrick, I believe that's how you say his name, which is played by Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell comes over to his house trying to get him to go down to the pub. And by the way, this is based off in an island. I think it's not a real island, Inisherin, but it's an island based off of Ireland in the 1920s, maybe around that time. Well, there's a war going on across the waters, and they can hear the war happening, And so it's, so Colin Farrell's character, Podrick, pretty much gets, in a sense, broken up by his friend Colin, and he never really gives a real reason why. He's kind of a little set back by it. He's wondering why did all of a sudden this guy does not want to be his friend. And he's he asks him, what did I do? And the guy straight up tells him, you did nothing wrong. Just out of nowhere, it changes. He decides to stop being his friend, and that's really, it does sound silly. And as you're watching the movie, it does have an interesting lesson. This movie definitely, it has a messaging behind it. This is about, heartbreak. This is about kind of what are you making of your life, in a sense, really thinking about your mortality a little bit. There's some grief in this. But behind, obviously above on just the surface level of, these messages, you get a kind of a silly movie, honestly. If you were just to watch this on that surface, on the top, on just what you're seeing and what these actors and these characters are doing, it's kind of a silly movie. This movie is funny. It's there's some humor in this that works really well, specifically with Colin Farrell's character, as well as Barry Keoghan's character. I think his name is Dominic. He's playing this young, I think he's a drunk. He's kind of just a mess. There's some parts I missed in the movie that I don't remember exactly, but and I really liked his character and kind of what he brought to the story. And you also have, like I said, Carrie Condon, who plays, I forgot her name. It's kind of a weird pronunciation of the name, but she plays Podrick, Colin Farrell's sister. And there's a lot of things going on in this little town, this little island of just a small community that, again, when you watch it, you hear the story of just a random place in Ireland. You kind of don't really see yourself relating to this in any way, but honestly, towards the end of the movie, I found myself maybe not relating entirely, but feeling what they're feeling, and I get what it is that each character here is kind of going through. Like I said, there's humor behind, there's humor in this. There's some silly moments in this. Again, like I said, there's moments in this that make you really think, like, what the heck? Who would do this stuff? Particularly by Brendan Gleeson's character. Not to give away too much, but there's a scene in which he chops off his finger and he throws it at Colin Farrell's door, and I'm just like, man, like stuff like that is what it reminds me of, like listening to this wild folk story or folk tale, whatever, and there's a message behind it. There's some kind of deeper meaning behind it. Nonetheless, I really did enjoy this movie. I thought it is a slow burn, but I think it does pay off as far as what you get towards the end of the movie. And this movie is carried by two amazing performances in Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. I thought their chemistry is so good. You really feel like these are real people that you're watching, and a real friendship kind of just being thrown away. You feel for Colin Farrell's character. You feel like a lot of the movie, Brendan Gleeson's character is just crazy dude. But then as the story progresses, you begin to realize that Colin Farrell is just as crazy. His mindset is also just a little out there. And I really did enjoy this movie. I thought this was great. If you guys can watch it, check it out. It's on HBO Max right now. Wonderful movie. I really did enjoy it. I give it a 4.1 out of 5. I really did enjoy this movie. I wish I would have watched it late last year or sometime last year to, I don't know how much room it would have made in my top 10, or if it would have made any room in there. But this was a really, really well done movie. I enjoyed it a lot. So check it out. It's on HBO Max. Like this video. I'm hoping to do more on YouTube again. Do some more. I'm going to be just jumping between here and TikTok mainly now. That's my review. If you think my opinion sucks, let me know. I appreciate it. Peace.